Helen, how are you?
Hi, very well, thank you.
Great to have you here. Thank you so much for coming on. Guys, massive, massive welcome to Helen Bates here. We have so many warm welcomes here, Helen, from Paula, from Jackie, from Lisa, from Anne, from Sue. Thank you so much for coming on. And obviously, it's great to meet you again, Helen, here. And I'm really excited to obviously have you share your story. So why don't we go right back to the beginning, Helen? Like your before and after recently has been absolutely jaw-dropping. We've had endless people comment and mention you in terms of what you're achieving. But a lot of people won't know you for who you are now, as in they won't have known where you came from in terms of what you went through. So if we go back to some of the toughest moments with your weight before we met, Helen, what would they be?
Um, well, I mean, I was probably I was definitely at my heaviest when just before I started TS, gradually been creeping on. I'd always struggled a bit with weight throughout, uh, really. I think first diet was when I was about 16.
Yeah.
Um, but I usual Weight Watchers, Atkins for a while, things like that. Always came back. I did know that I always needed to exercise a lot to
Yeah.
lose weight. I didn't just diet, but of course it was mostly it was all cardio
Mhm.
type exercise. But that was the only time that I ever did successfully lose weight, was when
Yeah.
I was doing a lot of exercise, but also practically starving myself. So that wasn't viable. And and then in about, yeah, sort of 2016 onwards, it really started to build up,
Mm.
and my mental health started to go down.
What way?
Various reasons. Um, Mum died, dad was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. My kids were going through mental health issues, and still are. I was having worried about my job. There was COVID. Um, I can't think. Loads of things were going on. And I just got really, menopause, of course. Whilst all that was all happening,
Yeah.
I was going through menopause as well. And I think I just assumed everything was because of all these other issues. Now I'm wondering if partly menopause as well. But I put on so much weight. I was the heaviest I'd ever been. I was a size 22 to 24. Um, and anyway, we ended up moving house. Oh, I was living away from home.
Yeah.
I was commuting from Surrey to Cambridge and living away from home during the week. And at the same time, my son had very bad mental health problems, and I was really worried about him. So it wasn't good being away from home. And then we moved up to Cambridge. And I just decided I had to do something. It was like a last straw. Was I
What?
was waking up with heartburn every night,
Wow.
wondering if I was having a heart attack. A friend had actually had a heart attack, and the first thing she knew about it was heartburn. So every night, literally, I was waking up, I had Rennies, and if this doesn't work, it might be a heart attack. And I just thought, I just cannot carry on like this. This is crazy. Um, so about in the September, towards the end of September, I found a small group personal trainer, and I'm still with him. I go 3 times. I've gone 3 times a week, every single week since I started. Haven't really gone on holiday much, so I have actually managed to go 3 times every week. Um, And then about a month later, you popped up on the timeline on Facebook, and I realized that although I was really enjoying the exercise classes, and I'd lost about, I don't know, I think it was about 3 kilos in that time in the first month, but I knew I needed more support with the diet, with the nutrition side. And I loved the idea. I knew I needed help with mental health and mindset as well. So it was this whole sustainable, holistic approach that really attracted me. And I thought, this is exactly what I need. So yeah,
What
I
reservations
haven't looked back.
What reservations did you have before joining us?
Well, I did. It's expensive. So I was worried about the cost. I was worried about I did think that I thought I would be able to do it. I was very much enjoying the exercise classes, and I still do. And I know that when I get really determined to do something, I do it. I can be very stubborn and very determined.
That's a quality. I might disagree, but I think it's a quality stubbornness. So it is.
So I would, if I fully commit to something, then I will go through with it, and I will do it. So it was just that I just needed that push, I needed to get over that mental hurdle, and moving house and coming somewhere new, completely different environment. I didn't have a commute. I now work 2 miles. Like I used to have. And I thought, right, I'm going to sort myself out. I've had enough of this. So, yeah. So that's
What have you achieved? What have you achieved, Helen?
Well, weight-wise,
Yeah.
since I started my PT classes, I've lost 40 kilos.
Wow.
37 of that with TSD. Since I joined TSD, so I'd lost about 3 kilos before that.
6 stone.
Yeah.
6 stone, like that's.
I know. I really can't quite believe it, to be honest. I really can't. I'm shocked. I'm constantly surprised when I see my shadow or see my reflection like in a window or something.
What's easier for you now? What's easier in everyday life after losing 6 stone?
Going up and downstairs. I used to struggle going up and downstairs, and now I'm running upstairs. I go walking, cycling, climb mountains. I mean, that was one of my big things at the start. I love walking and hill walking. I used to do a lot, and I haven't been able to do it. And I was always at the back, and I was out of breath, and I couldn't, it was hopeless, really. I was just, but I now know, I did a 26-mile, walking marathon in the Peak District in the summer to raise money for Alzheimer's, and had a fantastic day. It was lovely. I'm want to do this coming year. We're going to do the Yorkshire Three Peaks. Yeah, so many things I can do, and it's all a lot of it to do with activity. I just really enjoy being active now. I cycle to work. I'll whenever I possibly can, which is most days. It's not far, but it all adds up. I'll go for a walk at lunchtime. I walk around quite a bit most of the time. So I usually do about 10 to 12,000 steps a day.
What makes you think it's sustainable? What makes you think this weight loss is going to be permanent, Helen?
Just because it's part of my lifestyle. I really miss it if I don't do the exercise. I really get quite agitated and fidgety, and I need walk. I just need to get out. If yeah, it's just sort of become part of what I do now. So
Your identity now.
yeah,
Part of your identity, part of who you are, part of what you do.
yeah.
And what would you say to someone who is scared, afraid of failing, was on the fence?
I would say really just go for it. Give it a go. You've got absolutely nothing to lose. There's so much support. I mean, to be honest, the mindset stuff is Aoife and Jessica and all the mindset work has been absolutely invaluable. You can't, oh well, I would say you can't weight gain is almost entirely about it's psychological reason, and that's what people need help with. It's not just the diet, and you can't call it a diet either, because it has to, your whole outlook on nutrition it has to change. You can't see it as I'll do this for a while and then I'll go back, because that won't work. It has to be a complete, this is what I eat now. This is
mindset
for me. Thinking about it in terms of health rather than in weight and diet, but just about being healthy. That's what makes me really know that it is sustainable, because that's how I view it.
Well, exactly. It was part of who you are. And this is a perfect reason now, Helen, as to why things like Orlistat or Ozempic or all these drugs and pills don't work, or even gastric bypasses and gastric bands.
No.
If you don't address the psychological element, then it's never going to work, because there's ways of cheating the mechanical advantages you have of having a gastric band by having chocolate or having liquid calories. The Orlistat, for example, just leads to diarrhea, increased losses. That's not going to help if you just
sounds horrendous. I
Absolutely.
do know someone who's been on it, and they got very ill and they had to come off very quickly.
And leads to nutrient deficiencies. And then Ozempic, injecting yourself every single day, tackles hunger, but only works for 50% of people. And there's no evidence that it's long term. And most people don't struggle with their weight because of hunger. As you said, it's because of psychological struggles. And Helen, what you've achieved is nothing short of absolutely remarkable. 6 stone, changed who you are. And like, you've done Tough Mudder, of course, as well, Helen. Now, the pleasure of meeting you there. And what would you say to someone, just final words, who is scared of failing?
You really can't fail at this if you just keep going every day. Every little bit that you do, every step you take is going to be good for you. It's going to be helpful. It's only if you completely stop doing anything, that's when you fail. But with so much support, with your coach and with the inner circle, and so much information, I think it would be almost impossible to fail. Really just go for it. It's there's so much help and information and support. It's definitely the best thing I've done for my health. And just go for it.
Oh, Helen, I'm so proud of you. And you should be so proud of yourself, by the way. And the amount of comments here are insane. We've got literally thousands, literally thousands of comments here, 1.4 thousand comments. Thanks, Helen. Trust the process. Thank you for sharing, Helen. Need to keep an open mind. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for Helen. So there's so many comments here because obviously you're doing this. It does exactly what it should do, which is instills belief, but it also confirms, Helen, what you've done and what you've accomplished. And I want to thank you for coming on. I want to thank everybody here for coming on. And you're a force to be reckoned with, Helen. And this is only the beginning.
Yeah, I've got a little way to go, weight-wise, but I'm quite happy at the moment. I'm about 12, size 12 to 14. Mostly 12s at the moment.
What size? What size to a 12? What size did you start?
I was 22 to 24. Now I'm at 12, 14.
So guys, if you're sitting there thinking that you'd never, ever, 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 ever get to a 12, Helen's an example of what's possible. And I'm pretty confident, Helen, if I said that to you at the start, I know what you'd have said to me.
Yeah, I was hoping for a 16. I was thinking it'd be really good to get to 16.
There we go. Look at you now. Thank you for coming on, you massive overachiever. And to everyone else, good night. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.